Good morning and welcome to Yoga with Tanya. I'm Tanya. I should say gentle yoga with Tanya. That is always our goal, to be gentle with ourselves as we move through this practice, to be the healthiest and strongest we can be in this moment today. So let's begin with a few things. I do have a blanket here that I like to sit on. Keeps my hips in a great position. Feels nice. It's not that you can have it folded or not folded. You don't need one if you don't want one. I just like one. It raises my hips up a little bit. So, also, we are going to move to a standing pose. Standing poses at a certain point. So if you do need a little extra support, chair or table, something that you can brace yourself on, or a block, whatever it is that you can use that keeps your body in a safe position. Also, please make sure that if you are participating today and you are under a doctor's care, that you do have their consent to be here. We are gentle, but we are also virtual, so I'm not there to help make sure that you are in the safest pose possible. So with that being said, let's yoga together, friends. So I'm going to place one hand on my chest and one hand on my belly here. I'm just going to breathe. And just give yourself a few breaths like this. Noting the rise and the fall of the abdomen. Going out with the inhale and coming in with the exhale. In and out. In and out. So as we move through our practice today, think about this action, this slight, gentle movement of your belly as we breathe. And just give yourself a moment here. Let's rub our hands together. And think about your intent for class today. It can be how you want to feel when we're done. It can be how you want to feel during. It can be an anchor word, something that inspires you as you move through the practice today, as we move through our poses and our breathing. For me, it's reflect. It's a very special time, and it's really important, I think, to give ourselves these moments to reflect and listen to all that's around us. So once our hands get nice and warm, you just take them behind your neck and just very gently pulse and release, working from the base of your skull down to the tops of your shoulders. And this is a very subtle movement, a very slight action here, right? It's just the beginning of this dissolution of stress and all things that we just don't need, right? It's just the beginning, and it feels so nice. Just remember your breath. Think about that steady, even movement as we're doing this, going down to the tops of your shoulders. Right? And then going back up to the base of the skull. And again, it's very gentle. It's not even a full squeeze. Nice. And then just give that a little shake, like as if you have water on your hands, right? Which we've all had a lot of water on our hands lately, I hope. Nice. So then let's just take whichever hand you want. I'm using my right. You can use your left. There's no mirroring needed on this one. And I'm just going to just very gently do the same sort of pulsing action, just a little squeeze and release all around the back side of my shoulder. If this is too far of a reach, if this doesn't feel good for you, it doesn't feel comfortable, that's okay. Just keep your hand here or wherever it feels right for you. And you can just massage this part in here, right? Just very gently begin releasing tension, releasing anxieties, letting our lymph system activate here. Very nice. And let's switch sides. And again, it's as far back as you're comfortable reaching. Whatever you are doing that feels right for your body is what you should be doing. It may look different than mine, and mine would look different than yours. It's just what your body is saying yes to right now. Very nice, just that. And make sure you're breathing nice and steady. Sometimes when I'm doing something that feels really good like this, I realize that I've been holding my breath and just thinking like, oh, that feels nice. But make sure that you're breathing nice and steady while we do this little massage here. Oh, that feels so good, right? So let's do some shoulder raises. We're going to breathe in, raising your shoulders towards your ears. And when we exhale, I want it to be a really big sigh, a really big release here. So we're going to breathe in and release. Very nice. Let's do that a couple more times. Breathing in. And release. Very nice. One more time, the best you can do. Really, really elongate that breath. Bring it nice and slow and steady and full. Breathing in a little more. A little more. And release. So good. Let's do some breaths. We're going to put our pinkies together. And on the inhale, just raise your arms up, keeping your shoulders down and separated, letting your fingertips brush back on those shoulder blades and all the way forward. Just a gentle brush to the collarbones. Very nice. As you exhale, do that a couple more times. If going up this high brings any kind of tension or stress or strain that doesn't feel good, you can go here too. It's okay. And then just do this. Yeah. So let's do together. If you're going all the way up, breathing in, and whichever one you're doing, all the way up or just to your shoulders, exhale. Make sure your teeth are unclenched. And you're releasing. One more time, the best you can do. Nice long inhale. Teeth unclenched, shoulders down, and release. Very nice. Now, let's take your hand and we're just going to go across the chest here, just doing a little very gentle taps. Just addressing the lymph there in this area. Right? Just going across, nice and easy. We are going to go down your sternum. You can put your hands together like this if you want, or you can keep it just gentle fingertips. But you're going to go up and down here. My little one calls this the helicopter breath because we sound like a helicopter. Ish. Going up and down. And now we're going to do both hands and put your fingers together like this, like you're making little puppet people. And you're just going to go across your ribs, forward and back, down, around, super gentle. Everything we're going to do today is less than what you think you should be doing, right? There's no stress, no strain. Very nice. That's great. So let's take your hands, bring them to your shoulders, bring your shoulders up, and you want to make sure that they're nice and even here. If you feel your shoulders coming forward, just give yourself a nice little reset. If it's uncomfortable for you to have your shoulders up this high, your shoulders this high, they're always this high, to have your elbows up this high, go ahead and just keep your hands here, and we're just going to do some rotations like this. So if this is what feels good for you, this is where your hand should be, but it's circle messages. Taking in the time today to be gentle with yourself, to be good to yourself. And just rotate. And you can make them a little bit bigger if you want. We're just working on those joints. And you might hear a little crack. That's me. And if you hear a little crack, that's you. It's okay, as long as it doesn't hurt. It's just your joints saying, I need more lubrication, right? And that reminds me, please, 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 let's stop directions and switch. Going small again to make sure that you're hydrating. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. And get those nice and gentle. You can start making those circles a little bit bigger if you want, or you can keep them small. Very nice. This one feels good too. Make sure that you're doing nice steady breaths while you're rotating. We're going to do just a couple more things in our seated position here, and then we are going to go to standing. So the next thing that we are back of your neck, almost like a mama dog holds a puppy by the scruff of their neck. You're really not pinching anything. It's just a gentle hold. You want to make sure that your body is nice and straight, your chin is in a really good position, and you're just going to give me little yeses, like this. Say yes to life, right? Even if it's something we're unsure of, we say yes, because we know that there will be a gift of some kind there, something for us to learn, something for us to observe, something for us to absorb, right? And then we say no. I will not give up. No. I will not be defeated, right? Anything in life. Nope. No worries. And then we'll stop and let that hand go down. And let's do the other hand again. Just a little gentle hold here. Little yeses. Very small yeses. You don't want it to be like a goom. This isn't a full body motion. This is a very isolated, small movement right here, like this. Just little yeses. Even a little yep. Very nice. And then the no. This isn't, again, it's not a long, luxurious motion here. It's a very short, quick motion of no's. Very nice. Let's leave that. And you know what? We've been sitting cross-legged for a couple seconds here, so minutes, whatever. So let's go ahead and put your legs out in front. We're just going to give them a nice little leg roll here, just to shake them out a little bit. And you can shake them up and down. Rotate those ankles, right? And then go ahead and switch directions, rotate the other way. Very nice, and let's breathe in, toes up. Breathe out, toes forward. Breathe in, toes up. Breathe out, toes forward. Very nice, and shake again. Ooh. So we are going to do some seated rotations here today. These are great if you're feeling any kind of tummy distress or just feeling a lot of discomfort in here. It's a great way to just help relieve that. So I just have my hands resting gently on my knees. I'm going to breathe in and start with just a little lean. You're just going to make a circle using your body. And then when you exhale, you can bring that belly in and go towards the back. Still rotating and leaning, breathing in. And this one is almost as if you're drawing with your chin. Exhaling to the back. And then you come forward, or maybe your nose more, I guess. Coming forward. And the thing you want to think about here are your hips, whether you're on the mat or on a blanket. You don't want your hips to start going with the rotation. You want it to be just your torso here. You want to make sure, exhaling to the back, that your hips are staying planted firmly on your mat or on your blanket, whatever you're choosing to sit on. Okay, we're going to do one more rotation this direction, inhaling towards the front. Exhaling towards the back. And then when we get to the front here, we're going to switch directions. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. A couple more here. And then we're going to do a demonstration of seated cat-cow, and then we'll go into traditional cat-cow. Okay, let's hold here. So for seated cat-cow, from here, we're gonna exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, squeeze down here, squeeze here, tuck it back. And then when you inhale, everything comes forward. Your chest comes forward, your chin comes up a little bit. The smile lights up your face. And then you exhale back, tucking and squeezing as you go, right? And then inhale forward. Very nice. And exhale back. So, for those of you who are interested in joining me for a more traditional cat cow, please do so. If your wrists are feeling tender or it's really uncomfortable for you to be in a table position, please no worries. You can continue doing the seated cat cow as we were. But if you are able to join me, please come into table. And in table, you do want to make sure that your shoulder is above your wrist and that your hip is above your knee. You want to give me a nice big old jazz hand here to make sure that we got a lot of coverage and a lot of balance. Everything is planted, everything is grounded, right? So from here, we're going to exhale and tuck. And then inhale all the way through the center. Chin towards the sky, back arches. And then exhale. All the way through, nice and steady. And then inhale. And exhale. Nice and easy. Really give your muscles and your body time to move through each position. Give yourself this luxury of steady, easy movement. One more like this. And then a steady breath back to center. Nice. Now when you exhale, look out over your side. If you're doing this seated, you can just twist your body to the left or the right, keeping one hand on your knee. Inhale. Exhale. Just looking over your shoulder a little bit, just getting a little bit of a motion here. Exhale. Inhale, center. And I'm going to come back. We are from here going to move to a standing position. So whatever way feels comfortable for you to stand, you can use a wall, you can use a block, you can use a chair. So many choices. You can go into a downward dog and step forward. I'm going to just come back up here, bring my feet up. Whichever position you choose, please just make sure that you are slowly uncurling your spine as you rise on an inhale, and that your head is the very last thing to straighten. Nice and easy, right? That helps us keep from feeling dizzy. If you come up too fast, sometimes we can get a little dizzy and it just doesn't feel good. And yoga is all about feeling good, right? So if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. That's the rule. Okay, so from here, we are gonna just do some twists. Just let your body twist it out. My eye gaze is towards the floor. If you're more comfortable looking up, if you feel like that helps, you can go ahead and do that. Okay. And if you're able to, you can see all the way back to your opposite heel as it lifts off the ground. And again, this doesn't need to be fast. In fact, for me, if it were too fast, I would fall right in front of you. So that wouldn't be good. There we go. Let's stop that motion. Very nice. And just do a quick little reset here. We're going to just pat raising your leg just a little bit, only as much as is comfortable for you. We're just patting on your thighs. Just a couple more like this, patting down on the thighs. Just getting our body ready, waking all the parts of our lymph system up, making sure they're on the move, cleaning and clearing for us. Very nice. Now we're going to stop that motion and we're going to go arm to opposite leg like this. Okay? It's not a how high your leg goes or if your arm can meet it motion at all. It's literally just this. This is just going to cross your midsection a little bit. Okay? So just this and this. And just make sure you're breathing as you do it. Right? If you start to feel unsteady, you can put a hand by a wall and do it like that. That's okay too. It's really more about the steadiness of the motion and crossing that midline that helps us bring balance, right? And it doesn't matter how high up your knee goes. If this is what works for you, then that is absolutely what you should do. If you want to just keep it to your toes like this, go for it. You can just do it like that. So many choices. There you go. Just a couple more each side. And let's stop that motion. Let's give yourself a little reset. And I'm going to stand with my feet about hip width apart. We're going to do some breath. So let's breathe in. Arms up, shoulders down. Separated, teeth unclenched. You want your knees to be soft, right? Please make sure they're not locked. And then exhale. Slowly lower those arms. Do that 2 more times, just like that. Breathing in. And exhale. Last time, just like that. Breathing in, nice and steady. Shoulders down and separated, and exhale. Good. So now we're going to add our next element, and that is we're just going to rise up on our toes, okay, as we raise our arms. So 2 things. We're going to inhale our arms up, and as your arms are going up, if it's okay for you, you can rise up on your toes. Exhale down. So 2 modifications if you need them. If going all the way up over your head is not your thing, you can stop here if you want. Or if raising your arms at all right now feels super dicey, then just go up on your feet. With the feet, it can be just a little motion like this. If you want to bend your knees and just go forward a little bit, please do that too, okay? Whatever, again, feels right for you. If you need to do to be safe, we're going to inhale up. Shoulders down and separated, teeth unclenched, and then exhale, slow and steady. Like you're moving those arms through pudding. And down. Let's do that 1 more time, just like that. Breathing in, nice and easy. Rising up, only as high as is comfortable for you. If you squeeze this area and squeeze your glutes, you'll find that it's a little bit easier to go a little higher. You can bend those knees a little bit too, if that helps, and then release. We're going to add 1 more thing. So this time we're going to add our chin looking towards the ceiling. Okay, so let's breathe in. Rising up only as far as is comfortable for you, and then if it's okay for you, let your eyes slowly move so that your chin is towards the ceiling. And then we're going to release with an exhale, let your feet come down, and as your arms lower, let that chin come to your chest. Inhale to center. We're going to do that 2 more times. So inhale, rising up if you can. And then as you go, let that chin come up, keeping your teeth unclenched, shoulders down and separated. And then exhale, release the heels back to the floor. Let the chin come to the chest and move those arms in easy. Really think about your actions. Think about each part of your body that's moving or not moving. And when you're ready to exhale, release. Very nice. Okay. And from here, maybe not that far. Maybe this far. Maybe a little closer. Feel what feels good. Breathing in. And when you exhale, just let that right arm drop to the side and then lean a little to the right. Breathing in, bring it back up and release. That other arm come up, exhale to the side. Breathing in, release. Exhale down. Let's do that again. Breathing in. Left arm raises, and this time we're going to hold here. So some things to think about. Your hips, you want to make sure they're nice and straight forward, right? You want to avoid this kind of turn. You want to think about your knees. You want to make sure that they're nice and soft and that there's a little bit of a bend to them if you need to. We want to avoid that locking feeling, okay? Protect those knees. And then your chin, you can turn towards your arm if it's okay for you. And just this arm's on a little vacation. You feel that stretch all along through here. You may feel it a little bit towards your lower back. Just breathing here. Sinking a little more. And on your next inhale, let's bring it up. And then exhale, release. It's a little tingly. So let's breathe in the other arm. Bring that right arm up. Exhale. Leaning towards your left, you can let your head, your chin turn towards your arm. Breathing here. And again, you want to make sure that your hips are nice and square forward. Avoid that twist of the whole body. It's just a lean. This hand is on vacation. And you can feel that nice stretch all along through here. If you want to hold your hand here, you can also notice when you inhale and exhale the movement there. Breathing here, inhale. And as you exhale, sink a little deeper down. Inhale up. Exhale, release. So nice. Let's take a moment here and spend a little bit of time in mountain pose. I'm going to move my feet in a little bit closer together. I'm going to let my big toes touch. If that doesn't feel good for you and you need to be a little bit farther apart, please do that. Just letting your hands rest comfortably at your sides. You want to make sure your knees are unlocked, shoulders are down. Take a nice deep breath. And just think about how each part of your body feels now. We just did some nice stretches. We might feel a little tingling in the toes. Notice any sensations that are going on in your body right now as you breathe. One more breath here. Reflect on how your body feels. If anything feels different than when we started. And then just very gently come out of that. Just let your body sort of move a little with that. Shake it out a little bit. You can open and close your hands. Let's do some wrist rolls. Very nice. So let's move into a couple standing poses and then we'll go back down and do a little more breathing and then of course our favorite, Shavasana. So for our standing poses today, we're going to do a lunge, warrior two, Okay, and then a peaceful warrior, or sometimes called reverse warrior. I like peaceful better. You know, what our warrior poses encourage us to be strong, and they are about feeling courageous and feeling strong, and reflecting on how those emotions feel for us. So let's start with your feet about hip width apart. You're going to take a deep breath in. And as you inhale, step your right foot forward, only as far as is comfortable for you to step forward. You do want to do a quick position check here and make sure that your knee is over your ankle bone, okay? And you should still be able to see your first two toes, your big toe and its little neighbor. You should still be able to see when you look down, okay? That tells you that your feet are in a really good position. This back leg, I have mine forward, okay? And my knee is gonna be bent. If you need to make an adjustment here, you can turn it out and make it a little bit more of a warrior one pose if that feels better for you. But if you want, you can here. And if you want to hold on to something for balance, go for it. Okay. And the bend in that back knee is what's comfortable for you. Okay. So if you want to bend a little more, go for it. If a lot of a bend that doesn't feel right for your knee under, and let's breathe in, shoulders down and separated. You want to think about this right here being nice in a straight line. You want to avoid your chin going in all sorts of different directions. So just breathe here, nice and steady. Very nice. If you're looking for a variation and you don't want to have your arms up, you can put them on your hips. You could go into a little more of a crescent pose where you're making prayer hands behind your back, letting that chest come forward. Whatever works for you. Breathing here. Exhale. You notice that on the exhale, notice if your body is going a little bit deeper into the pose. One more breath here. And then we're going to inhale. Very nice. And take a step back. Roll, whoa. Roll that ankle a little. We just put a lot of weight on that back foot. Left leg forward now, right? So breathing in. Step that left leg forward, same parameters as before, right? We're gonna bend your knee, make sure your knee is over your ankle. You wanna make sure you can still see at least your first two toes, okay? That back leg is toes forward, knee bent. If that's okay for you, hips are square, tailbone is tucked under, shoulders are up, and we're breathing. That's smiling. Always smiling. Breathing here. And I'm going to turn to the side to show you the hand variation that I had that makes it a little bit more in the crescent lunge family. So you can stay in that position. I'm just going to show you a slight variation that if you're interested, if you don't want to have your hands here, you can put them in a little bit of a prayer pose here and let your chin come up a little, let your chest come forward if you want. Or you can just stay doing what we were doing and disregard what I just said. Your choice. Breathing here. Notice if you sink a little more. One more breath. And then release. Very nice. And just give yourself a little reset here. In fact, before we go into the warrior two pose, let's do just a couple of breaths, okay? Breathe in, arms out. Chest forward. And as you exhale, just bend your knees and give yourself a hug. Breathing in. And out. For a variation of this, breathing in. If it's okay for your neck and your spine, you can release all the way down like this. If when you do that, breathing in, chest forward, chin up, shoulder blades back towards each other. And then exhale. If when you do this you feel extra pressure or it feels uncomfortable, just don't do the forward bend part. Do it as we were doing in the first two breaths. Breathing in. What if you want to release all the way and it feels okay for you? Please do that. Or if this is what your jam is today, then that's what you should do. Breathing in, last one, nice big and full chest towards the hand, back to center. Just like that. All right, let's go into warrior. Step your feet out as far as you're comfortable. That keeps getting wrinkly, you guys. Okay, so we are going to go to the left first, right? So you're going to take your right foot and turn it in just a little bit, okay? And then you're going to point your left foot completely towards the other direction, right? Your hips, you want to be in a comfortable position for you, okay? Just, you want to make sure, if you're going back too far this way, then we're back in what we just did, which is, if that's what works for you, then go ahead and do that. But if you want to try warrior two with us, then go ahead and try to keep your hips forward. We are going to do our knee bend. So we're going to inhale, bend your knee, make sure it's over your ankle. Exhale, straighten. We're going to do this a couple times. Inhale, bend. Sorry, blanket in the way. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And this time when you exhale, bend, see how that feels, right? And then if you need to adjust out a little bit more, you can, or if you need to bring it in a little bit more, that's okay too. You should feel solid and strong in this position, okay? So if you're extended pretty far out and your knee starts to do this, turning in, or you just start to feel like you're not in a safe position, then just bring it back a little bit, okay? The important thing is that your knee stays right over your tips and breathing. Tucking that tailbone in. Nice full breaths. Again, you can adjust as you need to as you're in this pose. Breathing in and exhale. This back leg, you should feel like there's an even distribution here on your foot, and you can bend this knee a little bit, make sure it's nice and protected, right? Breathing in here. And on your next inhale, put your palm up and just reverse it down. Our little peaceful warrior here. Bringing peace to your body, peace to your mind, peace to those around you. This hand is relaxed. Breathing here. And then as you exhale, just release. Very slowly, bring your feet back to the center here. Shoulder roll, knee bend, ankle crack. That was me. All right, so let's exhale. Make sure that knee is over your ankle. Breathe it in. Exhale, forward, straighten. Inhale, bend. Again, make sure it's in the right position. Make sure you don't have that drift going on, right? Hips as forward as is comfortable for you, okay? That back leg, there should be, again, an even distribution of weight on your foot. You want to make sure that there's not, it's not uneven. You want to make sure that it's nice and steady. Okay, that knee bent just a little bit. Arms up, looking out over your fingertips, and breathe. Breathing in. And you can smile because you feel good, you feel strong. You feel like, wow, I didn't know I could do this. And here you are, breathing in and out. Notice if you sink a little bit more. Notice if you're tucking that tailbone in. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and turn that palm up and rotate down. So if this is too much, if this does not feel good on that lower back especially, go ahead and just put your hands on your hips and do it this way too. That's okay. You're still getting really good benefits from this. You're still courageous. You're still strong. It's just a different way of doing it. Breathing here. One more breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, release. Oh, you guys, that was a lot of hard work, and I'm really proud of you because I know you did it. So let's just walk our feet a little bit. And just talk to both ankles quite a bit here. Let's just rock back and forth. The ho-hum, waiting, that kind of a rock, right? You're going back on your heels, forward on your balls of your feet, up and back, right? Keeping those knees bent. There you go. Just give a little shimmy shake. We are going to go back down to the mat. So again, whatever way feels comfortable for you. I am going to take a deep breath here. And some swan arms down here. And then you can bend, or you can go into a forward fold if you want, or you can just bend and squat and come back down. But before we do that, give your legs a little shake. You're going to take a nice inhale here. Close your hands, looking up at your fingers, and I want you to come forward just a little bit on the exhale. It doesn't matter how far, just a little lean forward. Release your hands, and then when you inhale, rise up. Open the legs only as far as is comfortable. And again, you can be seated on your blanket. I didn't put it under me this time, but if you do want to have a blanket under you, go for it. And we are just going to take your hands and very gently moving towards the inside of your knees first. Do a little knee massage. If you have tender knees, if you have some knee concerns happening, you may want to consider putting something under them so they're a little more supported and they're a little more bent. That's totally fine. You can flex the toes, your foot, and that's fine too while we do this. Whatever you need to do. Because if you are listening to what your body is telling you, you will get the most from your practice. You will feel so good when we are all done. All right, so from here, we're going to take your hands in a little cup here and just do some gentle pats. All right, very gentle. It's not a slap. It's just a very gentle pat right where the hand is cupped. Weight inner thigh. I'm going to close my legs and bring it around the back. You want to be super duper gentle back here by your kidneys. Around. Give those thighs some nice pats. Coming up on the top. And we're going to do that same pattern 2 more times. So we're going to breathe in here, looking up towards your hands. Exhale forward only as far as you feel like you want to. Releasing those hands, inhale up, opening the legs, and massage. Nice and easy here. Nice and gentle. And then go ahead and do some pats. Very gentle in here. When we are doing this, we are helping our lymph system activate, right? We are helping move because it does not have its own pump and it needs our help. Shake that out. We're going to breathe in. So our targeted breathing and our actions, inhale up, help our system stay activated, help it continue moving, help it continue cleansing, help it from becoming sluggish, and keeping our immunity, that's not quite the right way to say it, but helping to keep it as strong as we can. You know, every little bit contributes. So whatever motions or actions or things that we can do in each day is a very special part of keeping ourselves as healthy as we can. Okay, so let's last time, pats up. Hang out right in this inner thigh area for a second. You got a nice cluster right in here. Closing up, coming towards the back. Down. All right, let's take a moment here. Come down to your mat and put my hands behind my knees. I'm going to lower myself one vertebra at a time down to the mat. I'm going to let my knees come up to my chest. Okay, my fingertips are pointed towards my toes. And I'm going to exhale and bring my knees in. Inhale, put them back to neutral. And I'm just going to rotate, do a nice sacral massage. That lower back, that feels really good. This is something that you can do outside of the sequence too. If you're just having a day where this area just feels super tender, it's just, some days we've been sitting too long, or especially if you're working from home on a computer, this is a great one to just take a break in a safe, cozy spot and just give yourself a little massage here. Switch directions. Sorry, I switched and didn't tell you. Switching directions here. Very nice. Let's stop that motion. We're going to breathe here. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring your knees in. And as you inhale, let them go away. Exhale in. Inhale away. Exhale in. Inhale away. This time when you exhale, bring your chin up as if your nose is going to meet your knees. It doesn't have to. And then when you inhale, let everything come back down to the mat. Exhale, bring it in. And this time let's hold here, breathing in and out. In and release. Very nice. So let's inhale, push away. Exhale in. Inhale away. And this time when you exhale, straighten those legs if you can. Inhale, bend. Exhale in. Inhale away. Exhale, straighten. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So I'm just releasing my hands to the mat. You can let them hang out on your belly if you want. Releasing to the mat. You want to make sure that your chin is in a really neutral position here, right? You don't want to be too far down or too far back. You don't want to cause any neck strains or any neck stress on that area where you're, just the back of your neck. So breathing here. And you can bend your knees if you need a little bit of a relief. One more breath. And as you release your feet to the mat, we're going to do one more breath sequence and then we'll move into a nice Shavasana to sort of seal the deal here on our practice together today. So this breath is our movement breath. So as we exhale, we'll begin on an exhale. You want your knees to come together and you want a pelvic tilt. And then as you inhale, put your feet together and let your knees come down. Your hands can be up here in goalpost. Exhale, knees together, pelvic tilt. Or they can rest on your belly or be on your mat, whatever's comfortable. Inhale, feet together, knees apart. Exhale, knees together, pelvic tilt. Let's hear that nice exhale, that ujjayi or ocean breath. Really make that nice sound. Inhale. And exhale. Closed mouth exhale, as if you're saying in a mirror, but your lips are closed. So it's like inhale and exhale. Go ahead and do two more at your own pace. And then meet me in this inhale position when you're done. And now we'll stay in inhale pose. And again, you can keep your arms activated up here in goalpost arms, or you can let them come back down here. It's your choice. We are going to stay here for a few breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and just release those legs out. We're just going to do a little side stretch here. So arms out to your sides. You want to raise your right leg, and you can just let it drop over to the side. You want to keep your shoulders flat on your mat, and you can have your legs straight if that feels better for you. But you really want to try to keep both shoulders on your mat. So if you don't want to get the full twist in, you want to just do this, that's okay. Just make sure that you're in a comfortable position and that you're not feeling any lower back pain or shoulder pain in this pose. Breathing here. You can let your head turn away. Just a couple of breaths. And then back to center. Let's go to the other side. Same thing applies. If you can go all the way over, that's fine. You want to just make sure that your shoulders stay down. If you want to straighten your leg, wind it around like that, you can. It's your call. Just getting that nice little last twist in. To feel uncomfortable or there's actual pain in this pose, go ahead and just release a little early. We're going to stay here for one more breath. Just getting that nice little twist in. And release. Oh, guess what time it is? It's time for Shavasana. All right, my friends. So we're going to do a little targeted breathing first together. So hands on your, as you get comfortable, I should say, we are going to go into Shavasana. So if you do need a little extra support underneath your knees, you can do that. If you want to do it in this position, you can. Just be comfortable and safe. Whatever works best for you. You want to make sure that your lower back is completely flat on your mat, okay? So if you do feel any kind of a gap there, that's when you would want to raise up your knees, or if you don't have anything to support the knees underneath, you can just bring them up like this. That's totally fine. Or you can try putting a little pillow or something under this area as well. Okay, so while we're here, let's put your hand on your belly and we're going to breathe in for 4 and hold, and then release for 4. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, and breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. From here, allow your body to get ready for Shavasana, our resting pose. I am going to sit up, and as you do your rest, I'll sit up so that you can hear me a little bit better, but please, for you, stay in this nice, comfy, laying down pose. Think about your breath, being nice and steady in and out. In and out. Allow your eyes to close. If you have eyeglasses, you can take them off. You can leave them on too, but you can take them off during this time. Just allowing a complete relaxation of your eyes, of your face. Thinking about your toes. Just let those toes relax, nice and easy. Feeling those ankles and calves connected with your mat. giving them permission to relax your knees. Just allowing each part of you this time to relax, to settle in your thighs, your hips, just letting each part of your body connect with your mat as if you're sinking into the mat. Your shoulders connect with the mat, your neck, the back of your head. It all feels as if you're just in this cocoon of goodness, of comfort, of peace, of freshness, of this balance in your body, of relaxation and fresh energy. Breathing in and out, steady, slowly, subtly, sending clean, comforting, energizing as it goes. Breathing in and out. Noticing only how your body feels. Noticing only thoughts that are comfortable for you. Notice only thoughts that bring you joy, that bring you smiles. Releasing anything that's no longer of use to you. Releasing thoughts or feelings that aren't needed. Bringing in warmth, bringing in kindness, and giving yourself this space to reflect on you, on the space you're in, the people around you, and what this time might mean. What gift will come from this time that helps us, that nourishes us, that increases our knowledge. Creating, releasing. And as you note each part of your body in its most relaxed state, begin movement in your toes. Open and close your hands. Bring your knees into your chest when you're ready, stretching those arms. Stretching in any way that feels good for you right now. Bringing your knees in, rocking from side to side. If you can go all the way over to each side, please do so. If that doesn't feel right for you, go ahead and just do little rocks here in the center. That's fine. Going all the way over left, all the way over right. And then when you get to the side that feels the strongest for you today, release all the way to that side and just pause here for one last moment. Absorb the benefits of the practice today. And then when you're ready, allow yourself to join and reflect on your intent for class today. what it meant for you to be here, how you wanted to feel, how you do feel, whatever it was you chose. I'll send you on your way with namaste. Please choose any words to close that are special to you. Namaste.